Hello, students. I want to go over the diet carbonated milk. Oh, it sounds disgusting. So this is from the Chapter 1 review. I believe that's where we throw this test in there, this question in there. It might show up some other time, but for right now, let's just go over the diet carbonated milk. We have a W equals 6 and a G equals negative 11. Okay, so we got to do 2 times W squared minus G. Write it out on paper. 2 times 6 squared minus negative 11. Okay, we got U. And then we got to do a G, which is negative 11, bracket 2 times 6, close the bracket, square it. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. And then we got to go 4 times a W squared, so that's a 6 squared, minus, now careful, it's negative 11. Oops, squared. I got to type it out carefully too. All right, so I think I wrote it out mostly correct, besides my 11 just looks horrible. All right, double check. 2W squared minus G times 2W squared, 4 bracket 6 squared minus negative 11 squared. So again, the whole point of this, I think if I'm trying to figure out what I was trying to do, is making sure you're doing the negatives correctly when you're evaluating. When you plug them in, make sure you're plugging them in correctly. Also, we had some issues. Notice there's a 2W squared and then a 2W brackets squared. I think there was another issue where we kept making a mistake there with our order of operations. So, order of operations, students, what would you do first? Probably the 6 squared exponents. Remember PEMDAS? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or whatever those things are. All right, so order of operations, you would do the exponent first. So this would be a 36. 2 times 36 minus a negative 11 is actually adding 11. So let's type that out really quick. I already did 36, so 2 times 36 plus 11. There we go. I think that's about right. Here we go, 83. Also, if you're very super duper careful, you should be able to type it out just like you see it. But I would strongly be cautious because you might type in something wrong. The more you type, the more likely you're going to make a mistake. So you're going to be 83. Okay, there we go. It looks kind of different than my other ones. Yeah, I just took a screenshot and printed it instead of printing it off of Schoology. But I got kind of tired of that. When you print things off of Schoology, things get weird. Anywho, next move. Negative 11 times 2 times 6 squared. Now, order of operations. Please, parentheses, always go first. So the 2 times 6 actually gets multiplied first. So that's going to be a 12. Rewrite, negative 1 times 12 squared. Now we're back to this situation. This negative 11 is actually going to be the last thing you do because the power is more powerful. Sorry, the exponent. The exponent is more powerful than the multiplication. I think I should be able to type it like I see it. And I believe my calculator is smart enough to figure it out. Okay, there we go. Now, if you wanted to do one more step, okay, times 12 squared, I think is 144. Hey, look, you get the same thing, okay? So, again, you can type it in your calculator, but just be careful because if you type it in wrong, you will get it wrong. Minus 1,584 was what the calculator said. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm good. All right. Oh, look at this last one here. Ooh, this is nasty. All right, so I remember this one exactly because you had to square a negative and then subtract it. Well, when you square a negative, it actually becomes positive. So I'm going to rewrite after doing one round of math. So U squared is a 36 minus U squared would be a positive 121. Okay? So it's not subtracting a negative, it's subtracting a positive 121. Okay? When you plug in a negative, you must use brackets. Again, we've seen this a handful of times, students. Okay? Negative 11 with bracket squared is different than negative 11 squared without brackets. Okay? This is the correct way to plug in negatives because it's supposed to be G squared. G squared means G times itself. So negative 11 times negative 11 is a positive 121. What makes it even more confusing is it was subtracting this. So it's going to be 36 minus 121. All right, so let's do that next move. 36 minus 121 is going to be negative 85. 4 times a negative 85 is going to be our final answer. Looks like negative 340. Okay, so this whole diet carbonated milk was made just for PEMDAs with negatives. Okay, make sure you're doing the correct order of operations with negatives being thrown into your expressions. Evaluate them correctly. All right, that was the diet carbonated milk.